Are you sometimes worried you don't understand English speakers? Don't let that stop you. Welcome back to In English with Lisa. This is another episode of the Listening Practice series where all the short stories are written and read by me. Yes, it's my voice, not a computer. What interesting details will you hear in this story? Get ready to listen and learn some new English. The Flatmate Clause. Chapter 1. The Problem. Oliver and Zoe live together in a small apartment. They are very different people with very different habits. Oliver is messy. He often leaves his clothes on the floor and his dishes in the sink. He likes to play music loudly, even at night when Zoe wants to sleep. Zoe is very neat and tidy. She always cleans up after herself. She puts her things away and likes the apartment to be quiet, especially when she reads her books in the evening. One morning, Zoe walks into the living room and sees Oliver's socks on the sofa again. Oliver, she calls, your socks are on the sofa, and there's a sandwich from yesterday on the table. Oliver comes into the room eating a piece of toast. Sorry, he says, but he doesn't look very sorry. And look at these dishes in the sink. Zoe points to the kitchen. They've been there for 2 days. I'm busy this week, Oliver says with a shrug. I'll clean them on the weekend. That's what you said last weekend, Zoe says. She is getting angry now. We need some rules. We need a contract. A contract? Oliver laughs. For dishes and socks? That's a bit much, isn't it? No, it's not, Zoe says firmly. She goes to her room and comes back with a piece of paper and a pen. We need clear rules about living together. Fine. Oliver sits down. What kind of rules? First rule, Zoe writes on the paper. Everyone must wash their own dishes after eating. That's boring, Oliver says. Let me add something more fun. He takes the pen from her. If someone wants to complain, they must sing like an opera singer. Zoe rolls her eyes. That's silly. It's my rule, and I'm writing it down, Oliver says. Okay, then. My next rule. No loud music after 10 p.m. My turn, Oliver says. Every Tuesday is dance cleaning day. We must dance while we clean. They continue writing rules. Some are serious and some are very funny. As they write, they start to laugh and enjoy making up unusual rules together. Now we both need to sign it, Zoe says when they finish. Oliver takes a special pen from his pocket. Let's use my grandmother's pen. She gave it to me before she moved away. The pen is old and golden. It looks unusual. Zoe signs her name, Zoe Blackwood. Oliver signs his name, Oliver Nguyen. For a moment, the paper glows softly. They look at each other in surprise. Did you see that? Zoe asks. The paper was glowing. What do you mean? Oliver asks, looking confused. I didn't see anything. Zoe looks at the paper again. It looks normal now. Maybe I imagined it, she says. You probably need more sleep, Oliver says. You work too many late shifts. Well, we have our contract now, Zoe says. Let's follow the rules. Sure, whatever, Oliver says and walks back to his room. What Zoe doesn't know is that this is no ordinary contract. Oliver's grandmother's pen has special powers, and now the contract is magical. Their life together is about to get very interesting. Chapter 1 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. Why does Zoe want a contract with Oliver? A. Because Oliver is too noisy. B. Because Oliver is messy and doesn't clean up. C. Because Oliver eats her food. The correct answer is B. Because Oliver is messy and doesn't clean up. Number 2. What kind of rules do Oliver and Zoe write in their contract? A. Only serious rules about cleaning and noise. B. Only silly rules about singing and dancing. C. Both serious rules and funny rules. The correct answer is C. Both serious rules and funny rules. Number 3. What happens after they sign the contract? A. The paper glows for a moment. B. The pen breaks in half. C. Nothing unusual happens. The correct answer is A. The paper glows for a moment. Chapter 2. The next morning, Zoe goes into the kitchen. She sees Oliver's dirty plate and cup from last night still on the counter. She frowns. Oliver, she calls, you didn't wash your dishes again. Oliver walks into the kitchen, still looking sleepy. I was too tired last night. I'll do it after breakfast. But our contract says, Zoe starts to speak, but something strange happens. When she opens her mouth to complain, she begins to sing like an opera singer. You didn't wash your dishes. Zoe puts her hand over her mouth in shock. What just happened to my voice? Oliver stares at her for a second, then starts laughing. You were singing, just like my rule in the contract. This isn't funny. Zoe tries to say seriously, but again she sings the words. This isn't funny. Try saying something that's not a complaint, Oliver suggests, still laughing. The weather is nice today, Zoe says carefully. This time her voice is normal. So it only happens when you complain, Oliver says. That's amazing. Zoe walks over to the contract on the table. I think it has something to do with this and your strange pen. That's impossible, Oliver says. It's just an old pen my grandmother gave me. Zoe picks up the contract and looks at it closely. But the paper was glowing yesterday, wasn't it? Oliver takes the contract from her. You're being silly. It's just a normal. He stops talking. The paper feels warm in his hands, and the words seem to shine a little. Okay, that is weird. I told you, Zoe says, this contract isn't normal. Oliver puts the contract back on the table carefully. Maybe we should stop following these rules. Let's try, Zoe says. She looks at Oliver's dirty dishes. I'll wash your dishes for you, even though the contracts say we wash our own. As Zoe reaches for the plate, her arm suddenly feels very heavy. She cannot move it at all. I can't move my arm. Oliver tries to help by pulling her arm, but it stays in the same position. What's happening? I think, Zoe says slowly, I think the contract is making us follow the rules exactly as we wrote them. That's crazy, Oliver says, but he takes the plate from the counter. Immediately, Zoe's arm goes back to normal. Oliver washes his dishes and nothing strange happens. This is getting a bit scary, Oliver admits. What exactly did your grandmother tell you about that pen? Zoe asks. Oliver thinks for a moment. She said it was special and that it makes agreements stronger. I thought she was just being sentimental. Well, she wasn't, Zoe says. We've signed a magical contract and now we have to follow all the rules we wrote. They look at the contract again. Rule number 3 says every Tuesday is dance cleaning day. All cleaning must be done while dancing. Today is Tuesday, Zoe says nervously. They look at the clock. They need to leave for work soon, but the apartment is still messy. Suddenly, music starts playing from nowhere. It's a happy, fast song. Oliver and Zoe look at each other in surprise. Then, as if by magic, they begin to dance. They cannot stop themselves. They dance while they clean the apartment. Oliver dances with the vacuum cleaner. Zoe twirls as she dusts the shelves. Despite how strange it is, they find themselves laughing. When the apartment is clean, the music stops. That was actually fun, Zoe admits, catching her breath. It was, Oliver agrees, but we need to be careful with this contract. Who knows what else it will make us do? They read the other rules they wrote. Some of them are very unusual. We should find a way to break this magic, Zoe suggests. Or maybe, Oliver says with a smile, we could have some fun with it first. Chapter 2 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What happens when Zoe complains about Oliver's dishes? A. Oliver gets angry with her. B. She starts singing like an opera singer. C. The contract disappears. The correct answer is B. She starts singing like an opera singer. Number 2. What happens when Zoe tries to wash Oliver's dishes? A. Her arm becomes too heavy to move. B. The dishes break into pieces. C. Water sprays all over the kitchen. The correct answer is A. Her arm becomes too heavy to move. Number 3. What are Oliver and Zoe forced to do on Tuesday? A. They must cook dinner together. B. They must clean the apartment while dancing. C. They must speak in different accents all day. The correct answer is B. They must clean the apartment while dancing. Chapter 3. The Solution. A week passes. Oliver and Zoe follow all the rules in their magical contract. They sing their complaints. They dance while they clean on Tuesdays. They even follow the strange rule that says they must speak in rhymes on Fridays. This contract is hard sometimes, Oliver says on Friday, but it's also fun, I have to say. Yes, I agree with you today, Zoe answers in a rhyme, and you are cleaner now. Hooray! They laugh together. The magical contract has changed their life in unexpected ways. Oliver is becoming more tidy. Zoe is learning to be more relaxed and have more fun. They are slowly becoming friends. But some rules are difficult to follow. Rule number 8 says if one flatmate cooks, the other must eat everything on their plate, even if they don't like it. This evening, Oliver cooks dinner. Unfortunately, he adds too much spice to the food. It's very hot and salty. I can't eat this, Zoe says after one bite. It's too spicy. Immediately, she cannot get up from her chair. The contract's magic is working again. I'm really sorry, Oliver says. I'm not a good cook, but according to our rule, you have to finish it. Zoe eats the spicy food slowly. She drinks a lot of water between bites. Next time, please taste the food before you serve it, she suggests. Oliver feels bad about the situation. Some of these rules are too strict. We need to find a way to end this magical contract. They look at the contract more carefully. At the bottom of the page, in very small writing, there is a sentence they didn't see before. This contract will end when both flatmates truly understand each other. What does that mean? Oliver asks, pointing to the small writing. I think, Zoe says thoughtfully, we need to understand why we are so different. They sit down in the living room and have an honest conversation for the first time. I like things to be clean because I grew up in a messy house, Zoe explains. My parents and 3 brothers were always leaving things everywhere. I never had my own clean space. Having order now makes me feel calm. I understand that, Oliver nods. My experience was the opposite. My mother cleaned all the time. Everything had to be perfect. I wasn't allowed to play normally because she worried about mess. Being relaxed about tidiness now feels like freedom to me. They talk for hours about their families, their childhoods, and their hopes for the future. As they talk, they begin to understand each other better. Maybe we don't need such strict rules, Zoe suggests. Maybe we can find a middle way that works for both of us. I agree, Oliver says. I can be more tidy in the common areas, and you can try to be more relaxed about small messes. As they reach this understanding, the contract on the table begins to glow brightly. The light gets stronger until the paper turns into golden dust and disappears completely. The contract, Zoe gasps. It's gone. We did it, Oliver says. We understood each other and the magic ended. Though the contract is gone, they find they don't really need it anymore. They've learned how to live together happily. Oliver keeps his things tidier. Zoe doesn't worry about every little mess. They take turns cooking meals they both enjoy. And every Tuesday they still play music and dance while they clean, not because magic makes them do it, but because some traditions are worth keeping. 1 month later, a new neighbor named Jackson moves in next door. He plays drums loudly at all hours of the night. We should talk to him about the noise, Oliver suggests after a very loud night. Good idea, Zoe agrees. Maybe we could write a neighbor agreement. Oliver takes out his grandmother's golden pen from a drawer. They look at each other and smile. Ready to make some magic again? Oliver asks. Absolutely, Zoe replies. But this time, let's be careful what we write. Chapter 3 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What special rule must Oliver and Zoe follow on Fridays? A. They must cook breakfast together. B. They must speak only in rhymes all day. C. They must wear matching clothes. The correct answer is B. They must speak only in rhymes all day. Number 2. How does the magical contract finally disappear? A. They tear it into small pieces. B. It turns into golden dust when they understand each other. C. They hide it in a drawer. The correct answer is B. It turns into golden dust when they understand each other. Number 3. What problem happens with Oliver's cooking? A. He burns the food. B. He adds too much spice to the food. C. He drops the food on the floor. The correct answer is B. He adds too much spice to the food. Epilogue. 6 months later, the apartment building is a different place. Oliver and Zoe are still good flatmates. They don't need magic to make them follow rules anymore, but they keep some of their favorite traditions. They still have dance cleaning Tuesdays, and sometimes they still sing their complaints just for fun. Their neighbor Jackson doesn't play drums at night anymore. The neighbor agreement worked. Now he only plays in the afternoon. Sometimes Oliver and Zoe dance to his music while they clean. Oliver has better habits now. His clothes go into the laundry basket, not on the floor. Zoe is more relaxed these days. She doesn't mind if the books aren't perfectly straight on the shelf or if the cushions aren't perfectly arranged. They also help other people in the building. When new neighbors have problems with noise or shared spaces, Oliver and Zoe invite them for coffee. They share their story without mentioning the magic and help others find ways to live together happily. Oliver keeps his grandmother's golden pen in a special wooden box. They only use it when there's a serious problem that normal talking can't fix. We make a good team, Zoe says one evening as they cooked dinner together. The best. Oliver agrees. Who would have thought that a contract would make us such good friends? They laugh as they continue cooking in their peaceful, happy home. The end.